Hi, welcome to Soup to Nuts. I'm Brian Irucci along with my sidekick and father Oswald Irucci. Tonight we're going to be cooking, he's going to be cooking a dish that with chicken and some eggplant. I'll let him describe it. And I really don't know what I'm cooking tonight because we was running late and he called me last night and reminded me that we had a show. So I told him just to bring whatever he thought for ingredients and I guess I'll wing it. So for now he's going to start and why don't you explain to him what you're cooking.
Okay. Can the camera get on here and show some of the ingredients I have here? I have some fresh chicken, which I'll be cooking in a minute. Some chicken I cooked prior to the show because it takes a constraint of time. I got some eggplant here already cooked. I got some fresh eggplant we'll be cooking in a little while. Then I have some mushrooms and some cheese, onions, and I'll be using some eggs here to coat the eggplant. But before I start, I want to show you these eggs. These are farm fresh eggs from Irucci Family Farm. Now, if you recall, one of the shows I did, I talked about my favorite chicken, the hen, Ricarda. Well, Ricarda, I'll show you the eggs she lays for me. I feed her every morning and I sing to her. And then she cackles, and when she hits a high C, I know she laid the egg. This is the regular size eggs that most of the chickens lay. And this is the egg. Can you see this? This is the egg that my Italian chicken Ricarda lays for me. They're beautiful. So I'll begin with a couple of these eggs here. And Brian, you know what you can do but start some oil in that small pan, get it going, and saute some of these onions. That's good.
Did you tell them what you were making yet, or you just?
Well, I'm not sure. I've been so busy today. I'm just going to put these things together, and hopefully it comes out nice. I know it will. All right. When that gets going, you put the onions in there. Cooking takes time. The main thing is to get things prepared ahead of time. That way you can save a lot of time to come high there. Some oil there. A little butter with the oil so I can brown my my eggplants. I can see when it starts to bubble, I know it's ready to put the eggplants in. Put that off to one side. Eggplants, a regular size eggplant. I sliced this last night, put some salt on it, and I let it stay overnight in the refrigerator. If you notice here, you can see this, how much water is extracted from the eggplant. Eggplant primarily has a lot of water in it. You want to get the water out because when you fry it, water and oil don't mix too well. So I'll take this away. This is already cooked. And this away. We have more room here. Take the eggplant and and it's still sweating a little bit. There's water there. So I just take it, flour first, egg wash, into fresh breadcrumbs from Framingham Baking Company sells breadcrumbs all ready to go. Like I say, cooking takes time. It's going to take me time to cook these here.
Well,
I got to cook some chicken after. And so what's that, Brian?
sauteing the onions, you're going to get them translucent and then add some tomatoes in?
Tomatoes.
So we get a little while long until they're a little loose.
All right.
So you're making, I assume, a marinara sauce or some type of sauce to go over it?
A little sauce to go with my recipe. And also, I'm going to show what I do with the tomatoes at the end. When I don't use all the tomatoes from my recipe, it's something I used when I was growing up, incorporating some of the eggs I have here. Delicious. I'll show you in a minute.
All right, well,
Just put it back in.
these look soft.
We had the onions. You can watch these. Two more to go and be all set. You add the tomatoes?
No, I'm gonna add them now.
I've got to say that,
Oh, you wanted all of them in there, right?
yeah, put it all. No, save me some. Put them, no.
Too late now.
All right, look at it. I've got to say that I got some special people here this evening doing the show. I got actually all my family here. Nancy Irusi on camera 3, Michael Shaywood on camera 2, Mark Shaywood on camera 1, and I've got my little granddaughter out there in the control room, Shauna Michelle Shaywood. They're here because they know that I'm making this recipe here, and they like it. So I figured I'd make it up for them. Last one. Now we just get these so they're a little brown.
You want put this back up on high?
High. So I want to reduce that down if you can.
You add any garlic in there?
No garlic.
No, I'd be adding it.
Well, because of what I'm going to do with that at the end of the program. It doesn't go nice with garlic. These here are cooking nicely. When they brown
So they don't
like
take long. You just want to brown them up a little bit. You want to add a little salt. You already salted them before, right?
Salt and some garlic powder in there with some salt and pepper.
Season the breadcrumbs, or you could season the flour too. Which
I season the breadcrumbs for the reason that I use the breadcrumbs after with some of the eggs. If you season the flour's gone. You're not going to use everything. But the breadcrumbs, I can use that with some of the egg mixture. So this is almost done here. See, when you soak them overnight, all that water comes out of it, and the eggplants, when you start them off, they're kind of firm. When you take them out the next morning, they're kind of nice and soft, and most of the water's gone. So it takes about 5 minutes.
5 minutes to brown them.
Yeah. And when that's done, I'll start my chicken. I'll show you the chicken. We're going to get some mushrooms to put in later on. But I guess...
You're going to cook the chicken in the same pan?
Oh, I'll get another pan. You get pans for the chicken, pan for the sauce, pan for the eggplant. What do you got, one pan cooked? What's that for anyway?
I don't know. I got to figure out something to cook.
There's a little girl here that just walked in. Whoop, gotta wash it. The little girl just walked in. I guess she wants to come on to the program just to say hi to me. She come out of the control room. Her name is Michelle. Shauna, you come out here and say hi to me?
Those you had on high, right? Those are two?
Yeah, this will be fine. Hi, Michelle. How are you? I mean, Shauna. She's my little girl. She's been on the show before. And Shauna and I do a little, pretending. We play pretend restaurant. And I'll tell you a story about that when I get time. She's a tough customer. When I get through serving her and giving everything she wanted, including the water, she's going to leave me a tip. Why didn't you leave me a tip?
Because you didn't give me the right water.
Well, I gave her water from the tap. What kind of water you want?
The one from the refrigerator.
Oh, the new refrigerator with the ice and the nice cold water? I remember that because I want that tip next time, okay? All right.
We want to show you something right here that, real quick, if you can get a shot. That right there, see that?
Well, what that?
Turn this way, that dimple. We always got to, at the end when she's done eating, we always have to wash that out because there's always sauce gets in there when she smiles too much when she eats, right? All right, we'll see you. See you later.
You set that
No,
down.
I did that. I knocked it over. I did.
When you cook, you have to watch the food you're cooking because you can't take your eye off. You can burn it. It's like when you make toast in the morning. If you don't watch the toast, what happens? A lot of time it burns on you, right? So you got to stay right there and watch it. You stir it around.
Well, you better get going on the chicken.
Why?
It's only a half-hour show. And I got to cook, too.
Here comes the chicken. Is that off now, Brian? That's
No,
off.
it's on a little bit.
Keep it
You want
rolling.
on.
The chicken. you take the chicken, and when I cook this, I want to cook it uniformly. In other words, you see how thin it is here, and how thick it is here. You cook this. This will be cooked before this is done. This will be kind of tough. Won't be ready. So what you just do is take a little bit, the knife, and just take a little bit down here.
Butterfly it, right?
So it makes it about the same size.
Do you want a little oil in there?
A little oil in there, Brian. Atta boy. Anticipate. You turn it up now. You can get these going. One more.
I always season the oil a little bit with salt.
Why is that?
Because that way it gives a little flavor. You could add it right on the chicken, but
I figure I do
I
right.
like to add it in there.
I do right in the chicken because, like my mother says, you gotta flavor both sides. A little salt, a little pepper, not too much pepper, and just a little bit. Nice and hot, Mike. A little garlic.
Should be, yeah. It's going to be too hot.
And you do both sides. All right. And when you put it away from you so it doesn't splatter towards you. That on nice and high.
Yeah. It's on high.
You get that cooking.
Okay, now that you got all the ingredients, why don't you tell them how it's going to be?
Well, what we're going to do, I'm going to make this a chicken with the cooked eggplants on the chicken. Add some mozzarella cheese. I'll saute some onions and some mushrooms in there before I complete the whole dish. And we might add just a little cooking wine to give a little flavor.
And you pour the sauce right over the top?
Well, I'm going to just put a little bit in each one of them. See what you can do. You get a fork there? You can press down.
Yeah, I was pressing them down with this back of the spoon.
All right. That way there it gets...
Could have bought crushed tomatoes, no?
I like this. It's a nice flavor to that.
You don't add any tomato paste in?
No, just like that. Tomatoes and onions. And when I do with that at the end, I'll show what I do with this recipe of mine. When I was in the 4th or 5th grade, we used to come home for lunch in those days. We didn't have cafeteria like you have today. It was a lunch, 1 hour lunch. We walk home. If I knew my mother was cooking eggplant that morning, I knew she was cooking it. When that lunch came, I'd run home because I love eggplants. And I walk in, she'd have a table set for me with eggplant. I can eat them just like this, plain. I just love eggplants. I love chicken. And the mushrooms, one of my favorite also. When we were young, I don't suggest anybody do this because it's very dangerous. When we were young, we used to go out into the woods around in the fall, and we pick the wild mushroom. But like I say, don't do it. It's very dangerous. One person did succumb in our neighborhood because there's certain ways you check to make sure it's not poisonous. But the mushrooms are like the portobello you have today. The portobellos are like this. These mushrooms are like this. And when we cooked them, they were like steak. They were delicious. I love mushrooms, eggplant, chicken I like because, like I say, growing up we had our chicken coop, our fresh eggs, and we always had chicken every Sunday. You heard of that saying, chicken every Sunday? Well, that's true. We had it every Sunday. Cooked different ways, of course, but I love chicken. Put that down a little more. I want to see no liquid in there.
Okay, well, there's a little break in the action here. I want to mention we have a web page, my father and myself, that's on the internet now. It's www.soup-2-nuts.com. And as I'm speaking, Paul's showing you an example of it now on the screen. At the bottom, there's a recipe page, which there will be, right now has a chicken marsala recipe on there, quick and easy. And there also is a contact us page where you can email us any suggestions, say hi, if you want a recipe, leave it on there. But right now, that should be up and running in probably a couple weeks. The actual email, if you try to email me and it doesn't work, I have to call the company tomorrow, but it should be up and running shortly. And there's some other information, so check it out on there. I'd like to hear from you, and any feedback would be greatly appreciated. I'm also going to have on there an icon for some sponsors. If anybody would like to advertise, like a local business or anything you'd like to advertise on there, there is information on there to contact me, and I can give you some more information on that. But for now, it's just a web page. The internet is so big now, so we figured we had to put our information out on the web and for you people as well. And what we're looking to do, just so you know, in the future, we're going to be coming out with a book. It's just a small book to start. We're going to do it ourselves with a lot of recipes that we do right here on the show. So don't get concerned if you think you want to call for recipes or ask for recipes. We're in the works now of getting that all together, and you'll be able to purchase a little book for very little money, and you'll have all the recipes, traditional Italian dishes right in the book.
And stories too?
Yeah, the difference in this is going to be also stories that go along with each, little short stories that go along with each recipe, mostly from what my father's been telling you, but we're also going to have a section in there where kids can cook with their parents, because it's nice to get involved at a young age, where they're learning traditions and learning safety is an important thing. Obviously, we're gonna stress safety in that you shouldn't cook alone, but it'll be fun for the parents to cook with their kids. I'm sure a lot of them do now, but instead of, I'm sure they cook a lot of desserts now, so they can start cooking some traditional Italian meals. And everybody loves pasta, so it'll be good for them.
Nice.
So keep an eye on that, up and coming, and I'd love to hear from you on the internet. So what do you need now?
Can you cut these for me?
Cut them for you?
Yeah. I got to tell a story right now. I got to watch the chicken. So cut these delicious mushrooms quickly, quickly, quickly.
Right.
You got it?
Yeah, because we're going to take a break shortly.
I got two more to cut. I want to get that into to see them before we take a
That
break.
knife.
My mother. I always tell a story about my mother because she was just a fantastic person, great cook, very strict, very loving, very demanding. She came to live with us when she retired, and she lived there for 20-some odd years. And I used to visit her every evening. I worked long hours. I used to visit every evening because she was alone and she liked to talk. And when I get there, after I had my supper, she'd always have another dish for me on the gas stove right over the pilot light, covered some delicious meal. So I'd have the meal. After my meal at home, I'd go and have another meal with her. In those days, I weighed about 175 pounds. Anyway, I sat there and talked to her. She'd give me a glass of wine. So she would say to me, one thing I want you to remember all the time, the Irusi name has to be way up in the sky. You understand what she's talking about? The Irusi name has to be way up in the sky. I guess what she meant was, don't do anything to disgrace the name, and when it's so high in the sky you can't reach it, that way you can never do anything to harm the name. The Irusi name has to be way up in the sky. So I sit there and I have my dinner with her, and I have my wine, and sometime during those cold months, she would say to me, have some brandy. So I'd have the brandy. It was late in the night. I have the brandy, go home, retire, and sleep comfortably. So one of those nights I said to Ma, why don't you have a nice little brandy with me? You know, oh, no, 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 no. What's the matter? Oh, no, 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 no. She said, if I take the brandy, she said, and I go to sleep, I said, yeah. If I die, I said, yeah. The policemen come, the firemen come, everybody come, and they smell the alcohol on my breath. You know what they say? Mrs. Irusi is an alcoholic. The name Irusi has to be way up in the sky. So I said, well, okay, Ma, that's fine. So I said, I have another shot of brandy. I got to go to bed, I said. In other words, she didn't believe I'm doing anything to discredit the name. So I explained to her one time, I said, look, what if you took the brandy, you went to bed, you did die? What do you care? She said, no, because you're still here, and your family's still here. Give me the mushrooms right in here, Brian. All the way around. She says, you're here, all the children are here. She says, the name is still with you, and I don't want to do nothing, ever, to hurt the Irusi name. You know something? That's a good idea, whether it's Irusi or anybody's name. If you teach the children when they're young, respect people and not to get in trouble and not to do things to hurt the family or the name, I think it's a great idea. I learned a great lesson from that, and I've done it for all my life, and one thing I still do, and not too often, once in a while when it gets real cold in the winter months, and that's to have a little shot of brandy before I go to bed. All right, this will cook down.
That's how's the sauce looking?
Let me see. Let it go a little more. I want to just about, you can turn it up a little bit, get most of that water out of there.
Okay, we should probably almost take a break shortly. Before we take a break, these are the ingredients my father, I don't know if you can get a shot, that he brought.
I got some basil, some tomatoes, some extra tomatoes.
Fresh mozzarella cheese.
And some garlic. I always have, you like garlic anyway,
Yeah,
don't you?
so basic ingredients, some fresh
together.
olive oil. When we come back, he'll show you how to finish that up, and when we come back, I'm going to show you what I can concoct out of that and show you how easy, when you don't have a lot of ingredients, how easy you can make something, and it's very simple to make.
Remember one thing. The Irusi name way up.
Yeah. Okay, have a good break, and we'll be right back. Hope you're hungry, because I am. We'll be right back. Hello, welcome back.
Oh,
You added some of the eggplant
mushrooms are in
on.
there cooking nicely. Put some wine in there. On top of that, we put the eggplant. We added the mozzarella cheese on top of that.
So it melts.
And I just put the cover on for a little bit. When that melts, I'll add a little tomato. Done.
Okay, what I've done is I had basil, tomato, garlic, fresh mozzarella cheese. I got a little food processor here. First thing, I'm going to make a pesto sauce, a tomato, basil pesto. So you put the basil in there. Put the basil into the processor. Nice extra virgin olive oil. Pour that right in. Good amount. You can always add more. A little salt. Add a little pepper. I usually squeeze a lemon in there if you would like. I don't really like lemon, but some people do. And also pine nuts is a traditional pesto, but I don't. Some people are allergic to nuts, so you got to be careful with that. We'll always let them know if you add that in, because some people have allergic reaction to nuts, and you can get into serious problem. So I'm just going to grind this up. You want to chop it up finely. You can just keep pushing it down to the sides, and eventually I'm going to add garlic in there, some fresh garlic, so that it chunks
Can I
up.
interrupt you?
No,
You get this before it cooks too much.
I got it down low.
Okay.
You take it off? Take it off. Then. So I added the garlic in, just crushing this up. Like I said, you keep pushing it down. And I add tomatoes in. It's a tomato basil pesto, but you don't want to add the tomatoes in until the very end, because you just want to give them a quick couple pushes on this so it doesn't grind them up too much. And I already made some ahead of time due to time constraints, so just incorporate that all in. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm going to add some of the tomatoes in now. These are just fresh tomatoes. You can dice them up. Especially good. The reason I made this is, one, to show how easy it is when you don't really think you have anything much time to cook. This will take you 10 minutes to make. You serve it cold, you put it over hot pasta, and that heats it up. So now I'm just going to chop this a little. That's all, because you want it to have some chunk to it. And you take the blade out. This is the pesto I already made earlier. So just pour it out of there. Now the pasta I used, you have a towel so I can grab this? Pasta I use for this, instead of using, I always use linguine or spaghetti. I wanted to try something different. I definitely want to try something different with the pesto too, because you always make a traditional hot sauce tomato. So I figured the basil with the growing season coming up, basil's coming in now. So I already pre-cooked these, they're shells. And the reason I use the shells is because where they're open on one side, that'll trap the basil pesto inside them, so it'll make...
With the lines too, rigati.
It's a lines too. So it makes a nice pasta for the type of sauce that you're using, because it'll coat all over it. So strain it real well, because the water gets into the shells. Now,
Take this, Brian. Want me to hold it for you?
yeah. Key with that is right after you strain it, when it's hot, you want to add the pesto right over it.
Mmm, it smells good, Brian. Not bad.
I have a little more, hold on.
Oops.
It's not going to come out now.
That's good enough there. More than enough. Some cheese on top of that? No.
Yeah, don't rush me now.
Right.
Biggest thing with this is fresh mozzarella
Oh.
cheese. Fresh, the balls mozzarella that you cut up, that comes in the deli, buy it in the deli. And like I said, it's important to do that when it's hot, so that'll melt right in.
Mm.
My hands are clean, so don't worry about my hands. We're almost out of time, so we're gonna hurry up with that. Take fresh Romano. Hold on. Garnish with basil in the middle. Look at that, that's like a tree, huh?
Yeah.
Little pepper.
Why don't you hold this? I can do something else in my recipe.
Yep.
Remember I told you about the leftover tomatoes? This is fantastic, I'm telling you. Leftover eggs.
Quickly, because we're almost out of time.
You want to try this, I'm telling you. It's you can make it as a side dish. You can make it a beautiful sandwich. It makes a nice sandwich. Sandwich.
Breadcrumbs?
Breadcrumbs are over there. No. That was something else.
So you added those in.
No, with that. That was something else.
All right, we're about time. Our time is up. You can get a shot at the camera over here. These are the two dishes. Mozzarella's melting nicely. You got the chicken with the eggplant. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching us. Take care.
Arrivederci.